few people that are going to speak.
We have a few people that are going to speak.
If we get together, we don't need a mic check. Just all gather around, gather around.
No, let's mic check it. These people need to hear us.
I might speak a little loud.
We cannot intrude traffic.
We can't block the wall.
Hey guys, don't protest right here. Protest right here. Not right here. Right here.
I know you beat Sunny Block.
All right, guys. From September 3rd through 6th, 2012, Charlotte will be hosting the Democratic National Convention, the DNC. With an estimated 50,000 individuals in attendance, this will certainly be the largest event our fair city has hosted.
Mic check.
Mic check it.
Want to?
Yeah.
Start over?
Yeah.
All right, you'll have to bear with me because I didn't write this with ideas like that. It's a bit long.
All right, we got time.
All right, from September 3rd through 6th, 2012.
From September 3rd through 6th, 2012.
Charlotte will be hosting the Democratic National Convention.
Charlotte will be hosting the Democratic National Convention.
With an estimated 50,000 individuals in attendance.
With an estimated 50,000 individuals in attendance.
This will certainly be the largest event.
This will certainly be the largest event
our fair city has hosted.
our fair city has hosted.
On January 23rd, 2012.
On January 23rd, 2012.
January 23rd.
The City Council will vote.
The City Council will vote
The city council will
to
vote.
adopt new ordinances
on whether to adopt new ordinances
they claim are necessary
they claim are necessary
in preparation for the DNC.
in preparation for the DNC.
What they have not told you
What they have not told you
is that not only are these rules on track
these rules are on track
to be implemented
to be implemented
8 months ahead of the DNC,
8 months ahead of the DNC,
but they will remain permanently thereafter.
but they will remain permanently thereafter.
Long after those affiliated with or protesting the DNC have left our city,
Long after
those affiliated with
those affiliated with
or protesting the DNC
or protesting the DNC
have left our city,
have left our city,
our mayor and city council
our mayor and city council
will have left the residents
will have left the residents
of Charlotte
of Charlotte
with a very harmful
with a very harmful
set of rules.
set of rules.
If it is truly the case
If it is truly the case
that our elected officials
that our elected officials
are concerned strictly with the DNC,
are concerned strictly with the DNC,
then I would question why
then I would question why
these rules don't just apply
these rules don't just apply
to the period in which the DNC will be here.
to the period in which the DNC will be here.
Most of the citizens of Charlotte I have spoken with
Most of the citizens of Charlotte I have spoken with
are shocked
are shocked
when told about
when told about
the permanent nature of the ordinance.
the permanent nature of the ordinance.
There should be no reason
There should be no reason
why a sunset clause
why a sunset clause
should be added to these ordinances.
should be added to these ordinances.
If these ordinances are passed,
If these ordinances are passed,
anyone participating in, affiliated with, or present as a spectator
or present as a spectator
will essentially be prohibited
will essentially be prohibited
from possessing
from possessing
a laundry list
a larger list
of mundane items.
of mundane items.
These include,
But
but are not limited to,
are not limited to
backpacks,
backpacks,
scarves, bike helmets, coolers. Of course, the mayor and city council claim
the mayor and city council claim
your possession of said items
your possession of said items
will only result
will only result
in an arrest
in an arrest
based on how how you intend to use them. Littered throughout the ordinance. Is this vague notion of intent. Who is to decide whether you are wearing a backpack because you intend to conceal other prohibited items or whether it is worn to store necessary medicine, food, or pamphlets. Who is to decide whether your possession of a bike helmet is because you actually ride a bike, or whether it is worn with the intent to delay, obstruct, or resist the lawful orders of a law enforcement officer. We have constantly been told by our local elected officials not to worry. That local police will be trained in proper enforcement. That pill might be easier to swallow. If not for the long history of police discrimination, selective enforcement, and misunderstanding of the law. The unlawful behavior described in the ordinances is already illegal. Under federal, state, and local law. The difference, of course, is in giving the police more authority to determine intent. There will be, of course, violent actors who will exhibit such behavior at the DNC, but they will do so regardless of any law that is passed. Our concern is that such vague language, innocent civilians will unnecessarily be caught in the net. So I don't have exactly something to read for this, but I'll just say it out loud. Cops have already told us to take off our scarves. While others with scarves walk around unharassed. Cops have already targeted our people who jaywalk, and not everyone else who jaywalks. We have had two occupiers arrested. For what crime? For looking at art at Bank of America. I wasn't aware that you police officers received a check from Bank of America. From Wells Fargo. From Duke Energy. I hope you're listening. We have already had police target homeless individuals. We have already had our members arrested for baseless claims. I mean honestly. Who is to decide what is disorderly conduct? If this ordinance goes through, we officers
We will allow more police officers
to profile,
to profile,
to discriminate,
to discriminate,
to harass,
to harass,
and to selectively enforce the law.
and to selectively enforce the law.
Those who have fought and died for our freedom
Those who have fought and died for our freedom
of expression
of expression
did not do so
did not do so
with the intent
with the intent
that we would one day
that we would one day
have government
have government
designated
designated
free speech zones
free speech zones
with the right to speak
with the right to speak
in said zone
in said zones
being determined
by
by a lottery.
a lottery.
As Beth Henry
Beth Henry
so eloquently put it, I thought our whole country was a free speech zone.
our whole country was a free speech zone.
We have already had
We have already had
a city
a city
that has told us,
that has told us,
quote,
quote,
we think
we think
we have been very generous
very generous
in terms
in terms
of First Amendment rights.
of First Amendment rights.
Well, we have already heard
Well, we have already heard
that we don't intend
that we don't intend
to rely
to rely
on generosity
on generosity
for our free speech rights.
for our free speech rights.
I also would like to talk about camping.
Camping.
We do not do this for recreation.
We do not do this for recreation.
We do this
We do this
to fight
to fight
for those
those
who cannot fight for themselves.
who cannot fight for themselves.
Our our parks have already been reserved by the DNC.
by the DNC.
I'll let you make the judgment.
I'll let you make the judgment.
Let's not forget,
Let's not forget,
as an occupier
as an occupier,
so eloquently stated,
so eloquently stated,
that sit-ins
that sit-ins
were not a form
were not a form
of protest
of protest
until the civil rights movement
Until the civil rights movement
made it one.
made it one.
Occupying
Occupying
is the new sit-in.
is the new
new
city.
sit-in. We're not going to the back of the bus.
Exactly. We are non-violent activists
We are nonviolent activists
offering to help the city.
offering to help the city.
We suggest
We suggest
you heed our call.
You heed our call.
Thank you.
Thank you.